going on, Jerome's Beautiful Friday. So we're known to spit out some hot fire predictions. So we may as well standardize it and turn it into a recurring bit. So hot fire prediction Friday, 5. Scorching hot take predictions for the Vikings. Now, some of these could be season long, off season, week to week. No. But diving on in. Number 1, Harrison Smith, Tennessee native, probably Knoxville, Tennessee, has a Canton-bound day versus the Titans. I think that Flores, I think, is going to set up Harry. I just feel it in my bones that Deuce is going to drop a major deuce on the Tennessee Titans. I feel like it's going to be this is going to be a Heisman moment. Like when they talk about Harrison Smith in a couple of years being eligible for Hall of Fame, this game is going to be associated with his name. What up, Sylvie? Hey, proof of life. It's been a while. Anyways, I think that Harrison at least gets 2.5 sacks, maybe a strip sack in there, maybe a pick interception, maybe a pick six, maybe 6-7 tackles. I think that Harrison Smith is just going to go off. I just think that he's going to be all over the damn place. And the defense, hey, Cashman is back. The band is back together. And I think that Harrison Smith is going to be freed up to do some ridiculous things. I think that he has a vintage performance on Sunday against Will Levis. Hey, Levis. Hey, mayonnaise and coffee guy. Bring it on. Next up, number 2, Slinging Sam Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, plays like a top 5 QB rest of the season. Now, we've seen him. We've seen him at his zenith. Unfortunately, that was in September, right? It's a long season. And I feel like ever since the Jets game, like he and Kevin O'Connell have tried too hard, right? And the Jaguars game is perfectly evident. It's like, hey, split safeties, a lot of cover 2. They're not going to give you anything deep. They're keying on Justin Jefferson, doubling and bracketing him. And I think that Darnold is finally going to wake up and smell the guano. I know that's bad poop. Doesn't matter. But he's finally going to get together and be like, hey, I need to stop forcing the ball to where it should not go. All right. Now, I don't want him to rein in all of his aggressiveness because, frankly, that's what's been really good about him, right? And just going vertical. Yeah, he's top 5 in average depth of target, ADOT, and he loves pushing the ball downfield. But I think that he's going to be a lot more judicious about it. I think that he's going to be smarter. I think that Kevin O'Connell is going to put him in positions where he doesn't necessarily have to lock on to Justin Jefferson. And I think that Hockenson, Oliver, Addison, Aaron Jones will certainly benefit. I think Jalen Speedy Naylor gets a little bit as well. And guess what? When Darnold does that, Justin Jefferson benefits because all of a sudden defenses will hate just getting death by 1,000 cuts. And then they'll single up Jefferson and then, woo, it is game on. All right, so I think Darnold gets his head out of his arse and plays extremely good football the rest of the way. 105-plus quarterback rating, 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio the rest of the way, completing 69% of his passes. Nice. Just limit the turnovers, man. Number 3, Ed Ingram keeps Dalton Risner on the bench. And we said at the time, this could be a good thing. Right, the Vikings bringing in Risner, where they already had Ed Ingram, a former second-round pick out of LSU, a 3-year starter. He improved in year 2. It's been sort of flat year 3, but frankly, he's been playing really good the last couple of weeks. Now, he sets the tone in the run game, and also pass protection needs to get things together. All right, but overall, you could make a case the last couple of games, he's been the better of the 2 guards between him and Blake Brandel, right? And Brandel, I feel like his play early in the season has built up enough goodwill where he's not going to be too concerned, but it is nice to have Risner in your back pocket as a viable veteran option. Also, Risner could play center. He did at Kansas State back in the day, 2015, as a redshirt freshman. But with Ed Ingram, that's always been zeroed in because Risner, who's played left guard throughout his NFL career, took some right guard snaps in training camp. But I think that Ed Ingram, obviously the coaching staff has invested in him, and they want him to succeed. And frankly, I think that having Risner looking over his shoulder maybe lights a fire under his ass and gets him to play good. And maybe that's what it takes. Maybe that's how Ingram really takes that next step, is that threat of losing his gerb. So I think that in a combination of the coaching staff wanting Ed Ingram to succeed and Ed Ingram improving his play, which he has done the last couple of games, I think the Reisner stays on the bench, barring alien abduction, which hopefully does not happen, because gotta stay healthy the rest of the way. My God, people. Next up, number 4, Jonathan Greenard leads the NFL in pressures. Now, he's currently third in the league in pressures with 48, trailing Bosa only by 3, and he has 7 sacks on the season through 9 games. So I think that Greenard just gets some, man. I think Greenard goes off, and it's so fun just watching him and his quick get off, lightning quick first step. Like, he has Allen Iverson-esque first step. I would talk about like early Philly Allen Iverson, not like Denver Nuggets Allen Iverson. But Greenard is just so much fun, man. And also, like, he technically didn't record a pressure against the Jaguars, but he was in the backfield wreaking havoc, bringing down Etienne on several tackles. Like, he's really good, man. I love Jonathan Greenard, and I think that he does rack up and stack up 100-plus pressures. I think that he'll get 15, 16 sacks when it's all said and done. And, yeah, 5'8", juicy, Lucy. All right. Great pickup for the Vikings. Lastly, number 5, Vikings win out. I'll just say it. The Vikings will win out, because you look at the schedule. All right, so 2 more road games, Titans, Bears, a 3-game homestand, glorious, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Cardinals, going to be feisty. The Falcons, we'll see what happens with Kurt. I mean, Kurt's pretty banged up right now. It might be Penix power time in December. You got the Bears, Monday Night Football, Winter Warrior at Seattle. Could be dicey depending on which Seattle team shows up. Packers at home, whatever. And then you're at the Lions. The Lions game is probably the only game that the Vikings will be dogs, the rest of the way. And it is a 1-week season. Take care of your business. But I think that the Vikings have a legitimate chance to go 15-2. And I understand that people, last 4 games are just like, well, lost a close one to the Lions, didn't take care of business against the Rams, sort of sleptwalk through the first half against the Colts, and just a near-run thing against the Jaguars. But this team has the makings of a complete team. They just haven't brought together at the right times, and I think that something clicks. I think that the defense stays top dog. I think offensively they get things together. They clean up a lot of mistakes, and I do think that the Vikings have a chance to really go on a run here. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Lions, and if and when the Vikings beat the Lions Week 18, then all of a sudden they're even on the season head-to-head matchup, and then it comes down to tiebreakers, conference record, blah, 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 point differential, etc. And they can't be slipping, because guess what? Even if the Lions win all of their games except for – wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. Wait, yeah, it does make sense. Even if the Lions win all of their games except for Week 18 against the Vikings, and the Vikings win out, both teams will be 15-2. 15-2, 15-4, 15-6, cribbage style. But then it'll come down to tiebreakers. So the Vikings, in an abstract way, sort of control their own destiny, TBD. But doesn't matter. Lions will slip up. I mean, they play the Bills and the Niners. I think the Bears will randomly get them. I don't know, man. But one game at a time. But I feel pretty damn good about the way things are going, especially with Cashman back on defense. I think knocking on all the wood, one game at a time, don't get ahead of yourself. It wouldn't shock me if the Vikings win out. We'll just say that. But that is it. Whew. It's hot debut. What are we calling this? 5 hot fire predictions Friday. We'll work on that. Anyways, you guys know what to do. It's a beautiful Friday. Hey, put a little something in the Venmo. If you enjoyed the videos over the years, it's payday Friday. Kick a little something in. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.